Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tuesday night. I know you guys are probably surprised to see me right here, right now, because SmackDown Live is happening right now. Don't worry, you'll still get your SmackDown Live review podcast when the show's over. But we've got a very special treat here for all of you guys tonight, and I'm very proud and honored and privileged to have my next guest here. And actually, we had him on the show 2 years ago, and now we're having him back. Like I said, the Beyond the Ring with Big T WWE News and Rumors podcast isn't always about news and rumors. We have some special guests on here as well, and tonight we have one. I'd like to say he is one of the hottest free agents in the professional wrestling business today. A former Ring of Honor World Television Champion. We got none other than Shane Taylor here with us tonight. Shane, how you doing?
I was good until you said I was the former Ring of Honor World Television Champion. That is incorrect, sir. I am the reigning and defending Ring of Honor World Television Champion, Shane T. Boy, the baddest champion you've ever seen, boy. If you're going to give me an introduction, I need it to be right, my man. I need it to be right.
Well, you know what? You're technically right, because are you still in possession of the championship at this moment?
Of course I am. Of course I am. I never lost it. Until I lose it, I'm not giving it up.
Ooh, I'm very interested now to see where this is going. I'm very interested. Want to start off, right off the bat. I had you on here 2 years ago when I believe it's when you were just starting your rise in Ring of Honor. And since then, you had a lot of great matches, a lot of great things happen in Ring of Honor. The current World Television title run that you're on. But man, I gotta tell you, what was it like when your rise started in Ring of Honor? Because I've been watching the whole way. I got the Honor Club Network and everything. I saw your battles with Adam Hangman Page and all that good stuff. And you've been just tearing it up as the Ring of Honor World Television Champ.
Well, see, the thing is, I'm glad you noticed it, because a lot of people didn't. A lot of people still had their eyes closed, and a lot of those people were the top decision makers at Ring of Honor. When you are having these great performances night in and night out, and you feel like they're not being noticed, or you feel like you're not getting the recognition that you deserve for these things, it starts to piss you off. And when you get a person like me who works best with a chip on their shoulder, that's the absolute last thing you want to do, is give me that chip, because I am a loyal soldier, I am a team player, but I am an even worse enemy. You can ask the people who've come across me throughout the years, whether it be my trainer and best friend Ray Rowe, or one of my other great friends in Keith Lee. If you cross me, you have a problem to deal with. So after years of trying to get the recognition that I deserve in Ring of Honor, they then crossed me, and now you have the situation that we have now, where I am the Ring of Honor World Television Champion, and now Shane Taylor Promotions is now spearheaded by me, and that is now what they have to deal with. So when you're talking about a guy who is having match of the year performance after match of the year performance, highlight after highlight, news outlet after news outlet talking about you and what you're doing, you would think that as a businessman, you would go, hey, maybe we should highlight that guy. Maybe we should promote that guy. Maybe that guy should be the one on the posters. Maybe that guy should be the one we're putting out in the forefront because he's producing, right?
Yep.
If you had a sports team, right? Let's just say football, because that season is just starting out. If you got a guy scoring 3 touchdowns a game, you gonna put that player on the bench? Probably not. You know what I mean? You're probably going to find a way to get him in the game, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. So after asking and asking and asking to be put in the game, I finally just decided to step onto the field myself.
And you know what? Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man. I don't blame you
Absolutely.
one bit. Yeah, I mean, you know your worth. Where I got things a little bit confused was, I saw the post on the internet, that you and Ring of Honor have agreed to a buyout on your contract, and I figured when that buyout happened, I was assuming that meant, you gave up the World Television Championship and, you're a free agent to move on elsewhere.
See, when you're talking about the Ring of Honor TV title, you're talking about 3 years of my hard work, 3 years of blood, sweat, and tears, 3 years of fighting uphill to gain that title. Why would I just hand it back to him? To me, that does nobody any good. That's mine. That's my hard work. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not just going to hand that back to them so they can hand it to one of their golden boys or hand it to one of their guys that they want to promote. That's not going to happen. That's going to be my championship, and the only way that I give that back is when someone pins me or makes me submit. That is the only way I'm giving it up. And for anybody that doesn't understand that, well, then they must have never worked hard for anything in their life, because it's a very simple concept. So that title stays with me until I lose it.
Well, you know what? I definitely understand. I mean, you guys put so much hard work into everything that you do, and I can only imagine how hard it is to just win a championship, but now let alone, trying to keep it with that target on your back, having a whole division just coming after you. That's big stuff.
Oh, of course.
So my question to you is, if we could go back a little bit, when your reign started, would you like to talk about when you won the World Television title and where things went from that point?
Of course. So there's a tradition in Ring of Honor that, when you win a championship, Kerry Silkin puts the title around your waist. At least that's been the case for singles titles. I won my championship, no Kerry Silkin. And I should have known something was up right then, but that's okay.
I don't mean to cut you off, Shane, but I did find that weird. Weird.
Right. Okay. Right. So you're not the only one, right? Okay. So keep that in mind as we go forward.
Okay.
Then, as I have the championship and I'm wanting these defenses, I make it clear that I'm chasing Jay Lethal's single reign championship record of 35 defenses. I start seeing, even as the champion, my name not appear on posters for the shows. We're in Lowell, Massachusetts, and I have a championship defense against Eli Isom. Yet, no poster, no face on the poster, but they made sure to put it on there when I was against Bandito in case he would have won. Now, did you see where I'm going with this? Like,
yep.
When I'm against guys that they want to promote, then there I am, to let people know that other guys in a match for this championship, not necessarily that the champion, who is me, is defending it. That's where I have the issue, because I am the champion. This is no different than when the UFC was trying to hype up Ronda Rousey's return against Amanda Nunes. All you saw was Rousey's coming back, Rousey's back, da-da-da-da-da, forgetting that Amanda Nunes is the champion, forgetting that you've got a killer waiting for this chick to return. And when you put somebody in that sort of position who has that sort of mindset that they are willing to shut anybody up or shut everyone up at any cost, that's a very dangerous person to have against you. That's what Ring of Honor has in me. Is now a person bent on shutting everybody up, including ROH.
And hey, I'm with you. I'm on board. I'm on your team, because you don't let a company walk all over you. You just don't.
Right. You don't let anybody walk all over you, especially a company. And with what I'm doing now with Shane Taylor Promotions, my own promotional company, I now get to highlight the talents from not only wherever I go, but all around the world, put eyes and put a spotlight on people who I feel are deserving, who I feel deserve to have that spotlight and have opportunities to change their careers. You know, someone told me a great quote, and it changed my entire perspective on a lot of things. If you give someone the power to feed you, you're also giving them the power to starve you, right?
That's right.
Why would I continue to sit at someone else's table in someone else's house and beg for a plate? I'm not. I'm going to eat off my plate at my table in my house. So that's what I'm doing.
But by the way, actually, as we're speaking right now, yeah, I'm already correcting things. Hopefully the stream's still coming across okay to everybody, but I'm correcting things right now as we speak. I'm removing that former off of the thumbnail that I sent you earlier.
Corrected.
It is being
nothing
removed.
Former about the boy here.
Yeah, see, I thought, buyout, all right, that means that the title has been relinquished, but no, I appreciate you shining that light.
Of course,
on
that's
me
what
and
I
on
do. And be careful about assumptions, because you know what they say about those. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Oh yeah. That's right, man. Well, it's a very interesting situation. I'm hoping it will. Shouldn't say hoping. I'm very confident that it's going to work out in your favor. But
there is sort of a small ray of hope, as it were, per my announcement earlier this week. Shane Taylor Promotions, being myself as president and CEO, have reached an agreement with Ring of Honor. Sorry, there's a dog barking out here. Have reached an agreement with Ring of Honor for me to defend the World Television Championship as previously advertised in Las Vegas at our Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view. Friday, September 27th at Sam's Town Live. You can, of course, catch it on Honor Club, as you mentioned, and normal pay-per-view outlet. It is a one-night only deal. We couldn't reach an agreement on any further TV episodes or appearances or anything like that going forward. But for me, I wanted to get this done because I, again, made a promise to defend my championship and to do the right thing, as it were, and to break that record. So history still has to be made on my part, but it was very important for me to get the deal done, as it was for ROH, and now my focus can shift on contract negotiations to defending my championship. Now all I have to do is focus on what I do best, and that's punch people in the mouth.
Yeah, oh yeah. How close are you to the record right now as we stand?
I am at 6 defenses right now, so there's 29 left to go to tie it, 30 left to beat it. So for me, I want to get these knocked out as fast as possible. It took Jay Lethal, I want to say 567 days. I want to shatter that. I want to be able to defend the championships. Excuse me. I want to be able to defend that championship as often as I can. And if that means it's in ROH, I'll do it. If that means it's in Mexico, I'll do it. If that means it's in the UK, in Japan, Australia, Canada, wherever I got to do it, that's where I will do it. Because I said I would defend it. I didn't say that they all had to be in Ring of Honor.
Gotcha. Yeah, you could defend it all over the world with any promotion. If need be. Now,
if need be. Yeah.
You mentioned that you have a press conference that is going to be coming up as well. Can you talk a little bit about that with everybody?
Yeah, win or lose, September 28th, Shane Taylor Promotions will be having a press conference in Las Vegas. I'm sitting down with my team tomorrow to finalize all the details of that. So as soon as I get that squared away, I will be letting everybody know the venue, the time, the whole 9 yards. But again, win or lose, the press conference will go on, and we will talk about not only what I plan to do next, but what my vision for Shane Taylor Promotions is going forward.
Man, I'm excited. Yeah, you just said that you were going to answer that at the press conference, because my next question was going to be, what's next for Shane Taylor after this next title defense?
Oh, see? That's when you got to stay tuned, brother. That's when you got to stay tuned.
I definitely got to check that out. You know, I'm looking at the landscape of professional wrestling, and it's changing. You know, it's in the middle of a big change, and I'm just thinking, I can't help it. I gotta say it. I think that you would be, you're a great fit in Ring of Honor, of course. But say if something happens where you have to move on, whatever, if something were to happen, I think you would be a great fit for All Elite Wrestling or NXT. I could see Shane Taylor taking that over. I definitely could. Because
I mean, and this is the thing, I'm open to opportunities wherever they take me, but to get one thing straight, I don't dislike Ring of Honor. I love ROH. I love the legacy. I love the history. My problem is I just don't want to be begging someone to be able to eat. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have to, keep saying, hey, put your champion on the poster. I shouldn't have to keep saying, hey, promote my matches. I shouldn't have to do these things. So I've taken it upon myself to do it. And this is no different than the movement that we see in music, where people are staying independent and then partnering with major labels as opposed to being owned by them. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now I'm not coming to you as an employee. I'm coming to you as a business partner. So it's a completely different. It is a completely different dynamic and relationship.
And I think it's going to work out great for you. I really do. I think you're in a great position. You have the title still. You got the leverage. You could put on some 5-star classics. I mean, I'm just thinking a couple of dream matches that I have for Shane Taylor. One definitely you with Keith Lee in NXT.
Right.
I could see you and Keith Lee tearing it up. I could see you doing battle, with Adam Hangman Page again or Cody Rhodes again. I remember when you guys went to war in Ring of Honor, and I understand your point too. And I'm not just saying this because you're on here. I was actually gonna ask you these questions, but you answered them for me. I always found it weird that whatever Ring of Honor World Television Champion that there was, take it to be Jay Lethal or whoever else held the title, even when Bobby Fish held the title, it seemed like they were always talked about, or their matches were highly advertised, or they would be on a poster. But then when it's like, since you won the title, I don't see promotion for a Shane Taylor, World Television title match. I don't see the poster. I don't see the advertisements on Ring of Honor's social media, like how they would advertise everybody else.
Now you understand the frustration.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And for me, you can only say something so long before you start to feel like a broken record, right?
Yeah.
And then it just becomes complaining, or then it's just bitching. So I'm like, all right, you know what? Enough of me talking about it, and enough of me saying these things over and over and over. Like, let me just do something about it. That's what I do best. I don't talk about it. I am about it, right?
Yep.
So I took the steps necessary to rectify the situation. Shane Taylor Promotions is born, and now Ring of Honor has to partner with me instead of me answering to them. So now they have no choice. Now they have to promote me the way I feel as though I should be promoted. Now they have no choice but to showcase me in the way that I feel as though I deserve to be showcased, and quite frankly, that I feel like I've earned to be showcased. When you look at the match of the year list, those matches are dominant. Those lists are dominated by my matches. Whether it's me and Jeff Cobb 1, me and Jeff Cobb 2, me and Bandito, me and Eli Isom, me and Tracy Williams, like whatever you want to say, whatever match you want to pick, more than likely, it's a good chance it's a Shane Taylor match, know? So, and even when you're looking at TV episodes, why do you not have your TV champion on your TV episodes?
Yeah.
Right? It only makes sense. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not just saying these things just to say them, But this is why I started Shane Taylor Promotions, and this is why going forward, I'm going to be explaining more and more just about what it is and who I am and what my ideals for the company are going forward. And if I happen to work out a deal with ROH, great. If I have to go elsewhere, then that's what we'll do. But regardless, Shane Taylor Promotions is going to be something that is only going to get bigger from here.
Oh, I agree. One thing that I've heard from fans when I talk about Ring of Honor, I don't know, if you've ever had, I guess you could say haters, naysayers, come on and try to comment to you. Like, whenever I mention Ring of Honor, I don't understand it. Like, I love Ring of Honor. I love watching Ring of Honor. I'm glad I got the VIP Honor Club network. I enjoy it. It's one of my favorite networks, and whenever I bring it up, people always tell me, oh, Ring of Honor's so dead. It's a dead company. Why are you watching it? What do you got to say for those people that seem to have all this negative hate for Ring of Honor?
We live in an era, especially with social media, where people are bred to follow other people's opinions, where they don't make opinions of their own. And the popular thing right now is to say what you just said, right? Yeah. But a lot of those people who are saying that don't watch Ring of Honor at all. They just hear somebody else saying it, so then they repeat the same thing. Well, this is how misinformation goes. This is how fake news gets so much traction, and then the truth comes out, and people will go, oh, okay. But when you look at our roster, top to bottom, I would compare our roster talent-wise with any roster on the planet.
Absolutely.
Right? You can look at the matches and the live shows that Ring of Honor puts on, and they compare, if not exceed, any other roster, any other programming on the planet, right? When you look at the top stars from just about every company in the world, they all have Ring of Honor ties. So how in the world would Ring of Honor be dead if they're producing not only today's top stars, but we're producing stars of the future? That doesn't make any sense to me. Something doesn't quite add up, right? So, to me, it is, once again, people that don't watch the product or haven't watched it, seemingly trying to jump on the bandwagon and only thinking the shiny new toys are ones worth playing with, right?
Yeah.
But as the TV champ, I take great pride in making sure that when people watch me, they know exactly what they're seeing, and that is the baddest champion that you've ever seen. So going forward, not only would it behoove Ring of Honor to get, a few more deals done with Shane T, but it would behoove them to keep me around long term, because Shane T is the baddest champion that anybody has ever seen, and as long as I'm in ROH, then ROH is worth watching.
Oh, exactly. A big guy like you with the agility, that you got. You could move like a cruiserweight in that ring. Not many, bigger guys have that gift. You have that gift. And the amazing thing is, when Jeff Cobb, no disrespect to Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb's a great wrestler. Love Jeff Cobb. But when Jeff Cobb was television champion, when you go on Ring of Honor, social media and all that, it's like you knew Jeff Cobb was television champion. You knew, and then after he lost the title, he's already in a main event at Best in the World with Matt Taven for the Ring of Honor World title. And, that's another thing, too. How come Shane Taylor hasn't got in there to tangle with the Ring of Honor World Champion,
That's another great question. And outside of that, I pose another question to you.
Okay.
They have a tournament starting at Death Before Dishonor to determine a contender at Final Battle. I'm not in that tournament either. Now, how is it that the Ring of Honor World Television Champion isn't in a tournament to decide a number one contender? You mean to tell me there are 7 other people more qualified than me to be in this tournament? I don't think so. You've got guys coming off of injury, guys that haven't wrestled in ROH in months that are in this tournament, yet I am not. And this is what I talk about when I say someone doesn't like me or someone has a bias against me, which is fine, because my entire life I have made people who bet against me look stupid. You know what I mean? And this is just going to be another case of that. You can put together whatever tournament you want, crown whatever champion that you want, but Shane Taylor is the real deal. And defense after defense, no matter where it is, I'm going to continue to prove that. And eventually there will be no choice but to recognize me, my greatness, and what I do, and give me exactly what I want and put me exactly where I need to be, in the place that I need to be, because I know my place. It just may not be where everybody else wants it.
Yeah. Well, I look at it too, championship titles mean something. They mean a lot, they mean something. And the way Ring of Honor's acting, it's almost like the championship title means nothing. When I look at the Ring of Honor World Television title, what I actually see is basically the number one contender to the Ring of Honor World title.
As it should be. As it should be.
That television title is a stepping stone to get you to the promised land of the world title. That's how I look at it.
But see, I don't even see it as a stepping stone. And this is where Jay Lethal and I agree. Because when Jay Lethal was television champion, he wanted to present the championship as being just as important as the world title. And to me, it is. Because the television champion has always been the workhorse champion. It's always been the people's champion. It's always been the everyman's champion. And with my background, with my ability, with who I am, this is the championship that will be having the big-time fights. This is the championship that I want to bring the wars back that people fell in love with. When you talk about Punk versus Joe, when you talk about Danielson and Low-Key, Nigel and Danielson, the wars that people remember, the wars that made people fall in love with ROH4, I want to bring.
And
so for me, that makes the television championship the championship worth paying the ticket for. Because when you show up, you're going to see a fight. And you're going to know when you leave, you saw the best fight of the night when that championship was on the line.
Definitely agreed. I felt that way at Best in the World with you and Bandito.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I felt.
Absolutely.
Because, the world title, it was the world title. It felt important, but, nothing personal. But it's something in that world title match that just kind of fell flat to me at Best in the World. And when I looked at the television title, I looked at that at the end of the night, and I'm like, damn, that was the best match on the show.
Right. And as long as folks are seeing that, then everything that I say is only going to be backed up by fact.
Yeah.
This doesn't have to continue to be my opinion, because once everybody starts to see it and, they can put the bias aside and go, oh, wow, he really did have the best match. Oh, wow, he really did have the hardest-hitting fight. Oh, wow, he really did do that. He really did that. Like, I'm a man of my word. I've been saying this. You can call me a lot of things. A liar is not one of them.
Exactly. What was it like when Ring of Honor sold out Madison Square Garden?
Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, you're standing in a sold-out Madison Square Garden. Only a few people even know what that's like. So to be able to do that and have that on my resume is fantastic. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and will be one of the highlights of my career. And I was honored to be a part of it.
Hey, you keep up that hard work. You might end up back in Madison Square Garden in a main event one of these days.
We'll see.
Do you have any? Well, I shouldn't say do you have any, because I'm sure you have some. But I'll phrase it to you like this: What are your top goals right now to accomplish in the wrestling business, already considered that you have done so much?
Man, that list of goals changes every day. One of the goals that I have, though, is to compete in Japan. That's something that was number one on my list for a very long time, and that's something that I definitely want to do going forward. And for me, with running my company now, I want to be able to change as many careers as possible, provide as many opportunities as possible by, again, showcasing and sponsoring the talent that I feel deserves to have light shown on them. So right now, those are my goals. Of course, you're always going to have personal goals, winning more championships, making more money, providing for my family. But then outside of personal goals, to help change as many lives and as many careers as possible, so that people that I know deserve it can further provide for their families as well. That's really what's going to be the priority.
Do you have any dream opponents out there?
Man, I want everybody. If you feel like you're the best at what you do, if you feel like wherever you are, you're the baddest, if you feel like, you're the toughest dude on the block, come see me. Talk to my people. Let's make the fight happen. Let's see what that money's like. Let's see if you really want to stand toe-to-toe with the baddest champion that you've ever seen, and we'll see what happens. So for me, this is about big-time fights, big-time cash, and showing the world just who the baddest really is.
I'm excited, Shane. I am really pumped up. I'm really, really excited. Do you have anything else that you'd like to add before we start closing it up here? Like as far as social media platforms, stuff about your upcoming press conference, and things of that nature.
Oh, of course. As always, please follow the social media at Shane216Taylor on Twitter and Instagram, ProWrestlingTees.com/Shane Taylor, all lowercase. Pick up your merchandise there, and while they have it up there, ROHWrestling.com. Go to the Pro Shop, pick up either your World TV Champion T-shirt or your Knockouts for Everybody T-shirt. And again, more details coming soon about the press conference on 9/28. But before that, tune in to Death Before Dishonor this Friday, September 27th at Sam's Town Live in Las Vegas, where I will be defending the Ring of Honor World Television Championship against Flip Gordon and Tracy Williams.
That is going to be a phenomenal triple threat match. Phenomenal. I think it's going to steal the show.
Oh, for sure. I'll plan on it.
I really think it's going to steal the show. I mean, Matt Taven and Rush, they're going to have a hard act to try to upstage, I'll tell you that, because you flip Gordon and Tracy Williams. Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
You know what?
Sir.
Maybe you need to bring that World Television title and go defend it up here in Cleveland, Ohio at Absolute Intense Wrestling.
Listen, man. I've yet to be invited back by them. If that opportunity was to arise, we could talk about it. But I definitely want to have, if we work this out, would love to bring ROH back to Cleveland. Cleveland's been put on the map by so many great champions. Most recently, Stipe in the UFC.
Yep.
So gotta show love to him. And so to bring ROH to my hometown and show them how we do it in the land would be fantastic. That would be a dream.
I would love to see it. I've never... well, actually, wait a minute. I have. Only Ring of Honor show I was ever to.
It was a long time ago. Yeah. I remember going.
It was... trying to think, the only Ring of Honor show I ever went to was when I was in Atlanta, Georgia for WrestleMania 27 weekend, and I went to Ring of Honor Take Center Stage the second night when they had Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas against the American Wolves.
Right.
That was the one show that I got to see, and I've always been wanting them to come to Cleveland and do a show. So yeah, I hope something does work out. You guys could get out here. That would be phenomenal.
Yes, sir.
Well, Shane, let me tell you, man, it's last time we took a little longer because we had to go through, your training days and how everything all started. This is kind of picking up, where we left off last time. It's always great to have a repeat guest on the show, and I
appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me.
Hey, you're welcome. And if you ever want to come back on here and talk again, I'd be more than happy to have you. Actually, maybe sometime when we get into 2020, as Shane Taylor Promotions is growing and getting bigger and better, I'd love to have you back, man.
I appreciate it, man. Sounds good.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Do you want to hang on the line as I get off the air, or are you... I
actually have to go. I've got some company who's been very patient with me, but they're waiting for me.
All right. Hey, well, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you for filling us in with everything going on with your situation at Ring of Honor, and still the Ring of Honor World Television Champion, Shane Taylor.
And still.
Shane, thank you so much, and I look forward to having you back on in 2020.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Shane Taylor. Shane Taylor, Ring of Honor World Television Champion. Man, great interview. It's always good to pick up where you left off, because like now it was a straight to the point interview. We got to pick up right where we left off and go forward. Great stuff. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. But as of right now, I'm going to finish up watching SmackDown Live. And then I will get everything ready for that podcast. And I'll be jumping back up on here to do the SmackDown Live review. And I'll get that out for you guys. But if... any of you, if you're watching this on replay, make sure you leave your likes, comments, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'm really looking forward to have Mr. Shane Taylor back on here again on Beyond the Ring with Big T. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in to episode number 218 of the Beyond the Ring with Big T WWE News and Rumors podcast for tonight. Tuesday, September 24th, 2019. Exclusive interview with Shane Taylor. Really special interview here. Thank you again to Mr. Shane Taylor for giving us the time. And we'll have him back shortly. But anyway, guys, you take care. I'll talk to you later for the SmackDown Live review results. And thank you again to Mr. Shane Taylor. Again, episode number 218, the Beyond the Ring with Big T WWE News and Rumors podcast for Tuesday, September 24th, 2019. And guys, I will see you next time. And yes, there will be a next time for my WWE SmackDown Live review and results. Don't forget us and we won't forget you. And if you want the best, and I mean the absolute best for all of your professional wrestling needs, always remember to think beyond the ring with Big T. And as always, guys, I'm your host, Big T, and I will see you at the matches. Take care. I love you all, and I'll talk to you guys later. Good night, everybody.
Hello, this is EC3 of TNA Wrestling, and you are so very fortunate because you are watching Beyond the Ring with Big T.